Hi, it's Alaska Granny. Someone recently asked me, could the government seize your prepping supplies, your food? Now let's think about it. Is it illegal to stockpile food? And the answer is no. But people are concerned with if there's, say, civil unrest or there's some emergency that food is not available, could the government come into your home and take what you have? Now, first of all, I'm not really concerned that the government is ever going to come around to my house, but what I am concerned with is if there is some big, huge catastrophe, that maybe roving bands of criminals would come to my home. That's what I'm afraid of. I'm not afraid of the government. We can see on the news that in other countries where people are desperate, that's what's going around, is groups of people are going around and stealing from others. So that's a scenario that we should be far more likely to encounter, that we would want to prepare for, because people do desperate things in desperate times. And sometimes even when they're not desperate, there is a whole undercurrent of people doing things, they just feel entitled. And so that's something we need to think about. The first thing I try to do is make sure that my home is secure, that I have hardened my locks, I have bolts on the windows, the things that you do to make sure that your home can be locked up securely. Then you also want to make sure you don't leave something outside like rakes or yard tools that someone could use to break into your house. Then you need to actually lock those doors and windows. Lock your shed. Make sure the doors to your garage are closed when you go to bed at night. Lock the door that goes from your garage into your home. Keep your cars locked, and don't leave anything that someone could see inside your car. People will break into a car just because they see something on the seat. It may be nothing. You may have a Walmart bag full of trash, but they don't know there's trash in it. And so there's no risk to breaking your window to grab that bag to see if there's something in it. So we want to lay the groundwork for ourselves to be protected, to not become a victim, because criminals will go up and down the street. They'll try the doors to the houses. They go in the ones that the doors are open. They go into the cars that are left unlocked. It's crimes of opportunity. So if we lock up our things and we keep ourselves protected just on a base level, you don't leave yourself open to be a victim to people that are looking for an opportunity to take something that isn't theirs. When you are adding to your stockpile, try to do it discreetly. Bring home a few extra things, put them away, have some things from Amazon sent to your house, whatever. I try to do it discreetly. I don't want to go to the store and pile everything up, and so that people are saying, wow, why are you buying so much food? Don't draw attention to yourself when you're adding to your prepping supplies. Be discreet about it. I know one time I was buying several water jugs in the store, and a lady was saying, why do you need all that water? What do you need all that for? And I didn't even think that I had that many. It's summertime. I'm going camping. I need to have water to take with me because my family loves going out in the woods. Try to think up a scenario rather than, well, I want to have stuff in my home in case something happens. It's nice to share that kind of information with others, but not if it's drawing attention to you. When I'm putting away my extra food, I have, yes, of course, my regular pantry, but then I also have places that I stash extra food. I have some in the closets here and there. I put things behind the pots and pans. I put a row of cans, and you can even stack them on top of each other in the very back of the cabinets. There's places you can stash things under your bed. Figure out where can you store a few things, but then remember where you put them so that you don't find them 10 years from now and they're all expired and maybe they leaked and they aren't any good anymore. So you want to still be aware of where you're stashing your extra supplies. Maybe you have an ottoman that has storage in it. You can put some food in there. Maybe put a blanket on top. So if someone comes over, they're going to watch TV, put their feet up. They might grab the blanket, but they're unaware that you have some supplies under there. There are lots of creative ways to look over the furniture and the spaces that you have. Maybe you have a side table in your living room and it has some doors on it. You can put some food or supplies or whatever in there. Use your storage spaces. Maybe you have a table that's open underneath. You could put some things under that, cover it with a tablecloth that goes down to the floor. Then you have hidden your things in plain sight. So look around your house. Is there a room behind the couch, between the bed and the wall, under the bed, behind your dresser, at the back of a dresser drawer? There's always creative ways to look about where can I put the things that I need so that I have them, but they aren't necessarily readily available for someone else to even know that you're a prepper or that you have those things. Figure out how you can have those things. Then if desperate times come and people come and they want to steal food rather than they've been stealing, like, I don't know, jewelry and electronics, then they can see your pantry. They'll take that food perhaps, but they don't know about your other stashes of food that you have. We don't need to be consumed with the idea that we're stockpiling food and someone's going to steal it, because in this day and age, that's nothing that people are looking for. No one is stealing those items, but we still want to have them. And if desperate times arise that they are looking for food, have some extra foods, maybe even decoy foods, and that will make people think, I found the important stuff, and then you'll still have the supplies that you need put away discreetly. Maybe you want to store things in bins, then don't get bins that you can see through. You want to get solid surface bins, and then don't label them food, label them grandma's old bathrobes, or grandpa's journals, or unfinished sewing projects, old Christmas decorations, unfinished art projects. You get the idea. Label it something that nobody's going to open that. Nobody's going to open that. They're not going to find your supplies, but then you need to remember what your code words are so that you know what's in there yourself, and you don't avoid opening grandma's old bathrobe bins either and find out that's where all the good food was stored. Stock up on the food and supplies you know your family depends on. Take the extra precautions to safeguard your supplies, and then think about who might have known that you have things that maybe aren't, you're second guessing and you wish they didn't know. So in casual conversation, you can even say to someone that you might have revealed things to, hey, remember how I used to be concerned about prepping and I used to have all that food stockpile? Well, I was sure glad I had it because food's been so expensive lately, I used all that food up. Or, and if they made fun of you, you can even say, oh, remember how you said that wasn't a good idea to have all those cans of chili? Well, you were right. Some of them leaked and exploded, and I ended up throwing them all away. They got wasted because they were in the pantry so long and nobody wanted to eat them. You get the idea. Make them think you don't have anything. Try to change the narrative, so if someone thinks you're a prepper, you throw them off the track that you're not doing that anymore. Even say, hey, do you know anybody else who's got food stocked up? In case we get hungry, we're going to their house. Take the extra precautions to safeguard your stockpile. Make sure you're adding to it a little at a time, and then also use, rotate, replace those items so that they're useful to you. Could the government seize your food? Well, I suppose in extreme circumstances, the president could issue an executive order that would allow the authorities to go and seize food. But they're not going to come to your house. They're going to go to the grocery stores. They're going to go to the warehouses. They're going to maybe go see if there's anything left at the food banks. They're not coming around to your house. That's what I think anyway. There's just too many homes in America. The government doesn't have time to go house to house seeing if you have any extra toilet paper, cans of meat, applesauce pouches. I don't think we actually need to be concerned about that. I think we need to be concerned with people who did not prepare, who then in desperate times would be going house to house searching for things that they want. What do you think? Should we be concerned? Do you have any tips on how we can organize our supplies so that they're not obvious? We need to be discreet, and we can do that beginning today. We want to build a community with like-minded people, but it can be hard to figure out who those people are. So don't overshare before you get to know somebody so that you don't have regrets about who you told that you wish you wouldn't have. I hope you'll like my video, share it. Please subscribe to the Alaska Granny channel.